Okay, this is ridiculous, mate. Like, Blizzard really lost 63 million players over the last year. Let's react to it.
Activision Blizzard has found itself in a number of major headlines, from the culture of harassment, abuse, misconduct, and discrimination that has been
There was
exposed
something about breast milk, man. That
to the Microsoft acquisition
I
of
don't know,
Activision Blizzard that's still in the works. And now they're making headlines after the latest financial results has revealed a performance that isn't adequate, isn't ideal, while the company is far from like crashing and burning. The fact of the matter is that what these companies are looking for and what investors are looking for is growth. And on that front, Activision Blizzard is struggling quite a bit, having lost...
Like, look at his face. He already looks like that he's so done with Blizzard. It's insane.
Quite a number of players this last year,
sense.
active monthly users, and their revenue and their bookings have generally been lower than years past. So, this was reported by news outlet GameSpot in an article whose headline reads, Activision Blizzard loses 60 million monthly active...
Wait, this is overall Blizzard and Activision. I think many people quit Warzone. For real, because the new map was garbage in my opinion, not that great.
Users in the past year.
And many other
You read that
factors,
right. That's a ton of players. Now,
many came back because of the Overwatch 2 beta, but that was so garbage that much more left after that. It was so frustrated.
No doubt it has in part to do with the allegations of harassment, abuse, misconduct, and discrimination with employees having backed...
They removed /spit from World of Warcraft. That fixed everything. I don't know why players aren't returning. They fixed all those sexualizing pictures in World of Warcraft. You know?
Those claims that has led many to be disgusted by this company and just up and leave. And then there's the state of games like World of Warcraft, which many have been departing from in favor of superior experiences like Final Fantasy XIV and whatnot.
It's true. Even though I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy XIV, I'd rather play that than Blizzard World of Warcraft right now.
But reading through this article...
I'm playing on a private server with a Wrath of Lich King. Warmain, join.
Will kind of paint a clear picture of what their financial situation and the engagement situation is when it comes to the company's gaming products. So, the article begins with Activision Blizzard has released its latest quarterly financial report, and the numbers were not good for the publisher, with revenue, player numbers, and Call of Duty unit sales all coming in lower than before. So this financial briefing was for the quarter ending on March 31st, 2022, and the reported revenue was $1.77 billion, which is a lot, but last year during the same time period, they had generated $2.28 billion. So when you look at numbers like that, that's quite a drastic reduction.
That's insane.
Then you got net bookings, which amounted to $1.48 billion, which was down from $2.07 billion last year. And finally, you got in-game net bookings, which came to $1.01 billion, a decrease from $1.34 billion. Just a downward slope across the board when it comes to the money that they made in this time period. And then
I'm not really sure if World of Warcraft even has millions of players in it. I'm not sure, man. I think it's below 1 million.
There's the player number of things, with a more specific number provided in this paragraph. In terms of player numbers, Activision Blizzard's overall monthly active users amounted to 372 million for the quarter, which is still a substantial number of players, but we're down from a whopping 435 million players during the same period last year, a drop of over 60 million, closer to 63 million players that the company has lost this past year.
Yeah, like 90% of it should be Warzone, I think.
Activision Blizzard's active users and player base crashed by a pretty significant 15% of last year's total. As for Activision's explanation for why all of this happened, well, a major contributor was Call of Duty Vanguard not selling particularly well, or...
That was one of the worst COD experience I've ever had. I didn't buy it. I just saw the content. I instantly saw that it was garbage. Cold War was quite decent. It had a good campaign. But Vanguard.
not selling as well as many of previous Call of Duty entries in
campaign,
the modern era. Activision confirmed that it sold worse than Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Additionally, Warzone, the free-to-play Call of Duty experience, had lower engagement than usual, but Call of Duty Mobile has performed
better. Mobile will always go well. It is also like one of the biggest revenue things right now in the gaming market. I think more companies should focus on mobile so they get more money from that, so they can put more effort into making the games that they truly want, like not putting those monetizing things that they put in the mobile game. They don't put that in the PC game. You know what I mean? Like they gain from one game and they put in their creativity, their dreams in that other game. And that game could be like a Game of the Year game and shit like that.
About the same as it did in years prior. Total net bookings for the Call of Duty series across console and PC, however, did decline. Now, Activision Blizzard is trying to paint a positive picture for the future by promoting some of their upcoming projects, like the next major Call of Duty entry, Modern Warfare 2, which is...
COD Modern Warfare 2, man, that was one of the best, one of the greatest experience I had back in the day. But I don't think that they will recapture that hype on an insane level.
Slated to release at the end of this year, I believe. Possible. And they also promoted a new Call of Duty Warzone game that is on the way. Activision's really...
New Warzone game? Like new map and shit? New rework.
Placed all of their eggs in the Call of Duty basket. The poor performance of Call of Duty Vanguard, the comparatively poorer performance of that entry, set them back quite a bit financially this quarter, and they're trying to make it up by just shipping more Call of Duty and hopefully more compelling Call of Duty than Vanguard, which, you know, wasn't anywhere near as bad as, say, a Battlefield 2042, but it had its host of issues, and it just didn't draw in a whole lot of attention and interest, not on the level that past entries have. But Activision insists that when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, it'll be the most advanced experience in franchise history, while Warzone 2...
Those words, most advanced, groundbreaking innovations. Well, those are big words. I wouldn't throw them around like that if I were Activision. That's something you can't just throw out. People will have high expectations, and I can guarantee you they won't meet them.
They will have groundbreaking innovations. Companies say stuff like that all the time, but only time will tell.
This is arrogant. They lost complete touch with the player base.
Whether these buzz phrases will actually hold true. Whatever the hell most advanced experience and groundbreaking innovations means, I guess we'll see. Next up, we got information on how Blizzard, a subsidiary of Activision, did. Their financial results in the first quarter were down year over year due to a lack of major releases. Projects like Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 are still some ways away, though...
Overwatch 2, it will be a fuckfest, man. That game will fail no matter what. It won't get an insane amount of hype like other games will. That game will have a low player base, which could slowly grow over time if they truly put in the effort. But it won't be another big bang.
They are coming out with a new World of Warcraft expansion.
Immortal will give them a lot of money because it's a mobile game, and I think it will be a good mobile game.
Dragonflight, that's in the works. You've got Wrath of the Lich King for World of Warcraft.
Wrath of the Lich King Classic will bring in a bunch of players. I think that's insane. Like, Wrath was the peak, I think. Like the 12 mil. Was it like that? The peak of World of Warcraft. And my favorite expansion. Like, I love that expansion to death, man. I don't think it's overrated. I've experienced it multiple times. And I can guarantee you, it's fun. It's more on the casual side. You can do most of the endgame content with ease, and there's an end to it. You know, if you are done with the game, then you are done with the game. But it will take a long time, I guess. Diablo Immortal, yeah, I already said that. But Diablo 4 is the only thing that could be like really great. A new banger, I guess. But the next WoW expansion, Dragonflight, it will be complete garbage. It will be Shadowlands over and over again. I don't think they will listen to their own community. They just want to make the game LGBTQ, right? Like, oh, yo, this character is this and that and shit like that. Yeah, it will be garbage.
Craft Classic. There was mention of Diablo Immortal, which is coming out on mobile on June 2nd, and there is a PC edition that's actually in the works. So for you guys out there who do not have phones, you are covered.
Do you guys not have phones?
But yeah, there is a PC version of Diablo.
I think after the Diablo Immortal disaster, they immediately worked on Diablo 4. They had no other choice. If they didn't do that, the people would be so enraged, man.
Immortal that they hope will help bolster sales and shine a more positive PR on this project that was announced in the most tone-deaf way possible, and that was in large part what caused so much backlash. And then there is Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, which they've mentioned development is
progressing well. You're fucking kidding me. Diablo 4, maybe. I don't know about that, but I can guarantee you that Overwatch 2 is I hate that game. Like, it's not Overwatch 2, it's Overwatch 1.1. The content they gave us is good, but this shouldn't have taken like so many years. This is something League of Legends puts out in half a year. This is pathetic. I'm not enraged anymore. I'm just tired. I'm just disappointed that they tried to sell us an Overwatch 2 game, even though it is not a new Overwatch game. They put in a new HUD. They put in some new characters, like one new characters, and the second will be also coming, I think, but only just a few reworks. They changed the sound designs. Imagine that. This is pathetic and weak. I don't care how much effort they put into that, but for me, it was looking like garbage. It was not enough. It didn't meet my expectations, and I set my expectations low. I just wanted an Overwatch 2 game which re-innovated things, did something new, tried something new, but no.
It's progressing well. We have been getting impressions from folks who have played the closed beta.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not an Overwatch hater. I love Overwatch to death. I played that game since release. I paid those $60 at the beginning, and that was not fucking worth it. Because when the hype was over, when the esports scene was over, no one fucking cared, and that was so sad for me. I just sat there. I didn't want to play role queue or the other queue, free queue. What was it called again? Like the role queue. Who invented that? You split up the player base. You don't want to play DPS because you are going to wait for like 20 minutes to get into a ranked game. This is horrendous. Even with your priority pass. You know why it is like that? Because not only is like DPS the most fun, to be honest, but there are no healing characters. There are no tank characters. We don't have so much characters for us. Like, the most characters are in the DPS thing.
Of Overwatch 2. And generally, from what I'm hearing, at least as far as the multiplayer component is concerned, it's kind of more of the same, just kind of tweaked with a lot of the sequel justification coming on the PvE side of things, the campaign.
The PvE side of Overwatch 2 will instantly die down. I can guarantee you that. Like, maybe it's great, but the thing about those PvE kind of co-op games, man, they instantly die down. They won't generate that insane amount of hype. Maybe one day of Twitch, they will be on top. And after the next few days, it will go down in an instant, like every other new game of that kind.
Stuff that they're shipping alongside this multiplayer update. We'll see how that goes. And then finally, we have information on the Candy Crush division, King. And as far as that endeavor is concerned, apparently they've been growing steadily. Saw in-game net bookings jump 8% year over year. Player numbers across all King games grew by a double-digit percentage year over year. So on the mobile front, Activision Blizzard has remained relatively steady and has seen some growth in certain areas. But when it comes to console and PC gaming, which is, you know, the bread and butter of Activision Blizzard, that's where there have been some financial struggles when it comes to maintaining stability and maintaining growth because of projects that have been pushed back and certain projects that haven't been well received, on top of the negative PR surrounding Activision Blizzard that has pushed away.
Like at the beginning, I hated when I just get betrayed like that. I don't care if there's a company which is already hated that much, like, I don't know, EA. We always hated the company and we don't really give a shit about them. But Blizzard was something, Activision Blizzard, that we loved at the beginning. But when you got stabbed in your dick, it got cut off, and they ate it before you. They grilled that shit, and they killed all your parents. They destroyed all of humankind before your eyes. And this was the experience I had over the last few years. Hearts died down. Heroes of Storm, I loved that game. StarCraft 2. It still goes strong, I think. Maybe some tryhards are still playing that. But yeah, all the games basically died down.
A number of players who just cannot...
Hearthstone is going great, but I don't fucking care about Hearthstone, sorry.
...support this company anymore, so long as Bobby Kotick remains the leader and the CEO of the company. The hope is that with the Microsoft acquisition, that will all change. Activision Blizzard will see completely new management, a completely different structure with Microsoft kind of overseeing everything, and hopefully they'll really work hard to improve the work culture of the company and the development processes so that Activision Blizzard can start seeing an upwards climb towards becoming a better game publisher. You know, it's important to keep in mind that the Microsoft deal is still ongoing and isn't 100% assured yet. It seems very likely that it will ultimately go through, but there's still some hurdles. While the board of directors has approved of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, there are still regulatory hurdles from the government that they have to overcome, so we'll see how that plays out. But the general hope is that this acquisition does go through because Activision Blizzard is so poorly managed. There's so much complacency when it comes to corruption and mistreatment of employees that the Microsoft acquisition could pave the road for a far more positive future for this company that is in dire need of new leadership. Bobby Kotick needs to go, and there just needs
to... Fuck that guy. Like, I think he deserves a fate worse than death.
Be someone to right the ship that has gone astray for the past few decades. In the meantime, though, Activision Blizzard has been doing everything in their power to bury its internal issues under the rug, with this recent report from news outlet The Verge, published on April 29th, 2022, reporting that Activision Blizzard has once again been accused of threatening employees for speaking out using coercive methods. This is not the first time something like this has been reported. The company behaving like scumbags while saying in the same breath that they're all about employees.
There are things I want to say, but which I can't say on YouTube or I will get banned. That's just it. You can imagine that yourself. But I think those Blizzard dudes deserve, like the normal employees, I really pity them. Like, those people are fucking... When you are working at Blizzard, you must feel bad, man.
Having voices, their voices are heard, and they're all about employees speaking out and expressing their umbrage so that the company can improve. It's all corporate speak. It's all BS. It was reported here that an employee was threatened.
I nearly cried when Jeff left the Overwatch team.
By a manager after posting an article about the lawsuit in Slack and discussing holding Activision Blizzard accountable with other coworkers. According to former Blizzard senior task analyst Jessica Gonzalez, the company has a pattern of retaliation against workers who speak out. And I mean, if you've been following the headlines surrounding Activision Blizzard, that information should come as no surprise. In light of the latest financial briefing and some of the latest developments surrounding Activision Blizzard, its stock price has taken a hit, with this CNBC article from April 27th, 2022, reporting that as Microsoft rallies for the acquisition, Activision Blizzard sinks to lowest price since deal news. And looking at the stock price right here, seeing the journey that it's gone through, you can see a major crash here starting 2008, but then it swings back
this one and
up throughout 2021, only for that to crash again as reports of its awful
thing is, it only got that high because of the pandemic.
of employees began to come out, and then with the Microsoft acquisition news coming out, the stock kind of went back up, but then it's kind of stabilized here, but it's swinging back down again with the latest financial report. So it's definitely been tumultuous times for Activision Blizzard, though Bobby Kotick hopes to seemingly make a swift escape with a golden parachute, as according to this report from the Wall Street Journal, Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick could walk away with more than $500 million after Microsoft deal. That's a combination of severance as well as stock rewards. There is a glimpse of the article here that reads, in a securities filing Friday, Activision said Mr. Kotick would receive $14.4 million in severance if he is terminated or quits under a variety of circumstances within a year of a change of control at the company. It also said Mr. Kotick owns 4.3 million shares and has the right to acquire another 2.2 million.
Like some human beings, you just despise that much. It's insane.
Potentially worth just over $500 million combined at the $95 a share deal price. That's what sucks about all of this. Despite Bobby Kotick being in large part responsible for all of the awful goings-ons within the company, he still gets to leave, land on his feet with more money than he probably knows what to do with, and he just gets to live his life, and it's freaking BS. Let's not pretend that the law treats everyone equally. The rich absolutely have a major advantage on that front. But you know, if Bobby Kotick can be ousted from Activision Blizzard, from the games industry, if he can just frickin' retire for the love of God, or just never grace the gaming landscape ever again, at the very least, that'll be some kind of win, even though it's still far from ideal that he gets to leave with so much money in his pockets, money made off of the exploitation of the workers under him, the exploitation of customers and players and communities, and the desecration of certain game franchises, game IPs, and game launches. At least under new leadership, there'll be some hope that things can turn around for Activision Blizzard, that games can be made with more integrity, with less focus on factory producing them out there, giving Blizzard the autonomy that they once used to have so they can do their best work, and just the encouragement to push for more innovation. That's what Blizzard used to be. They used to be industry leaders when it comes to just setting the standard for the various genres that they've tackled, but lately they've become a shadow of their former self.
Lately? And it's been already for years like that,
and fingers crossed that Microsoft's acquisition will right that ship.
I hope so too, man.
Obviously, the future is unwritten. Only time will tell how this will all play out. In the meantime, let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Activision Blizzard's latest financial report.
Go subscribe to him. He does great content. YongYea. And would really appreciate a like and sub. And if you want to see more criticizing things, reaction things, and shit like that, go subscribe to me and go subscribe to YongYea. I see you next time. Much obliged. YongYea out.